Well, hello. In celebration of 2018, I wanted to do a top 10 pen list. This time I decided not just one list, let's do 3 or 4 lists. So I've done a video on my top 10 most recommended pens. I have a top 10 vintage pens. I have, a aspirational final comments video, and I have this one, my top 10 favorite pens. So these are the ones I would say I most enjoy writing with. These aren't necessarily the ones I would most recommend. Some of these are problem children that require special pampering. My only real rule on this was it had to be a modern pen, it couldn't be vintage, and it had to be one I have filmed a review on. I think there will be a few changes to this list for next year, but this is where I'm at for this year. So let's take a look at them. Apologies if the sound you hear extra noise. I'm not in my regular set, as you could tell there in the intro, and the microphone is on the same table where the pens are being moved around, so you will hear excessive noise. So my first most fun pen of 2018 is the Pilot Justus 95. What makes this fun? Right there. It's a soft nib that can be adjusted to be hard or soft. It's a cartridge converter pen, uses a proprietary cartridge, but it is fun. Now, as far as practical use, I don't know that there's a lot of difference between the hard and the soft. I think it's more of a gimmick. But it's a fun gimmick. I like the pen. So we'll place that on the list. And of course, these are not rank order at all. These are just on the list. Wow. It looks almost like it's glowing there. The second pen on my list, I've had it for a few years. I actually reviewed someone else's, so I guess I haven't actually reviewed this specific pen ever. But it was just like this one, so who'd know the difference? This is an Omas Ogiva. Now, admittedly, Omas is no longer with us, but I consider this a modern pen, so that's why it's on this list. You can still find these, you're just going to pay a lot more than I did. Piston filling pen. I don't know that the seal on the piston is the best of any of the pens I have, but if you're not a purist, it's a very fun luxury demonstrator with an extra flessibile nib, which is what makes it so much fun. And if you want to see how these write, like I said, it won't be this pen, but it'll look just like it in the video description below. And then I have Platinum 3776. Now, if I wanted to talk about how much fun these are, I suppose I'd swap it out, which I will now do, for maybe this, my very first one. And you can see the nice slip and seal mechanism with the lakes. Or an even more fun finish, the Yamanaka. Because they seem to come out with special editions every year. I would have bought this year's special edition, except there were other pens I wanted more. I had to make choices. Or the one I'm going to lay here, they also come in celluloid. Now, you have to pay attention. This celluloid doesn't have the slip and seal in it. You do have to pay attention, though, to price. You may not find it in exactly the price you want. But if you're willing to wait around for a pen and look and search and shop and walk away, I found this celluloid one for the price of one of their special editions. And it is so much fun. In fact, after this video is over, I'm strongly tempted to ink it up and write with it again. Speaking of fun, I got a cursive italic nib on this Platinum President. That is just fun. The pen doesn't look like much, but wow. Put that cursive italic nib on it, and yes, that is a fun pen. Cartridge converter, so it's easy to clean out, but it's definitely a flagship pen for Platinum. And when I talk about my aspirational pens, One of them has the same nib on it. Okay, as far as fun, writing with a platinum or with the Pilot Custom 823 is just like writing with any other fine nib pen with a Pilot number 15 nib on it. What makes this special is the filling mechanism is just so much fun. It's a vacuum filler. Whee! That's why this is on my favorite pens list. Also on my favorite pens list, Lamy 2000. Why? I mean, it's so prosaic and it's Bauhaus and you just use it all the time. What makes it special? Well, I'll tell you what makes it special. It feels good. I like writing with this pen because it feels good writing with it. No, it's not fancy. No, I don't have a fancy nib on this one, although I do have a broad, which is a lot of fun, and I have a, what's the other one? I forget. Oblique medium. That's also kind of fun. But what makes this great is just how it feels to write with it. It is an awesome pen. On my top 10 list of fun pens is a problem child. This is the Visconti Homosapiens. Now, attractive pen to be sure. Actually a very nice writer. But a hook and seal mechanism. Some people have had trouble with these palladium nibs. I have not, so I can only talk about the pen that I have. What I've had trouble with is this filling mechanism. If I'm not smart, it doesn't fill very well. Also, it's pretty easy to get the cap, that thingy, the blind cap, to come off. I don't know what Pilot did differently with their vacuum filler, but boy, that was a horror the first time it came off. The other thing that I've had trouble with this pen, I can't take it with me anywhere, because I have several times when I was taking it with me, I would end up with a cap full of ink. Don't know why. I don't treat my pens that roughly, but it happened. So, that's why it's not on one of the reasons it's not on my most recommended list, but it's on my fun list, because I do enjoy writing with it. Also on this fun list, and on the recommended, I think, is the Aurora 88. Now, I own a vintage one, 2 vintage ones. I love them. This is fun. Flex nib, which I think is what propels it to this fun list. Is it the flexiest nib I have? Oh, heck no. Piston filler also. But it's fun to write with it. And for that reason, it makes it on this list. Also, it's orange. And it's just such a striking color. It's fun. What can I say? Now, as I started looking, there were a couple different pens that were contenders for this. And again, this is not a rank order, so you're not going from most to least or least to most. Just these are 10 that I really enjoy. I like the Conklin Wordgage. Now, do I use it? No, I don't use it as much as I should, but when I do, it's fun. Why is it fun? Well, it's not the nib. The nib's just a plain ordinary steel nib. It's a piston filler, which actually means it's harder to clean out than some other pens. And you know what I finally decided that makes it fun? And it's a gimmick, just like, well, a less expensive gimmick than the Pilot Custom 820, or than the Pilot Justus 95, but it counts how many words you have left in the pen. I mean, that's just silliness. I don't know. I like it. And it just kind of has that older school look, kind of like it's from the 1960s, one of those vintage slim black pens that I like so much. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's fun. I thought try out one of the Hyperflex nibs. I've been curious, or the Omniflex from this company. I've been curious about them, but why mess with a pen that I just enjoy? And finally, this was a Fargo discovery. Fargo, North Dakota, in a pen store, among other things. Parker Sonnet. Yes, I own a Parker Duofold. Yes, I own some very nice pens. But what a surprise to me the Parker Sonnet has been. It's not fancy looking. It's almost understated, very timeless. It's just a cartridge converter pen. The nib is not one of the most amazing I've used. And yet, I really enjoy it. And maybe it's that Fargo association. I'm not sure. I mean, they're not made in Fargo. They're not even made in the United States anymore. But I really can't explain it. It's a very satisfying pen to write with, though. I enjoy it. Just because it's a good pen. So that's my list of top 10 favorite pens of this year. Again, one of my rules was I had to have reviewed it, so there are a couple contenders who may be displacing a few of these for next year if I do the same top 10 list. Same with my other lists. I'm always open to new friends or new pens, so anyway, if videos like this interest you, or I talk about fountain pens, both new and old and at all price points, I invite you to subscribe. And hey, what was your favorite pen? Do you have one that you think should be included or removed from the list? And check out the videos down below. I have links to all reviews of all of these. And leave a comment. What's your favorite pen? So thank you for watching. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.